Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for the opportunity to speak with you today at the Fall Commercial Vehicle Business Summit. Um, if you're wondering why you're not seeing Jim Connolly up on the screen, which was the original presenter, he unfortunately has fallen ill. My name is Drew Bacheller. I'm the marketing director here at Bollinger Motors, and I will be, in the interest of the upcoming uh, World Series, I'm going to be the pinch hitter for him today. So I will try to do his work justice and hopefully deliver a little bit of value for all of you. So consequently, if it looks like I am at times reading off of some notes, that's because I am. But again, my name is Drew Bacheller, marketing director here at Bollinger Motors, and we are the newest OEM in the commercial electric trucking industry, with our first production vehicles rolling off of the assembly line a little over a month ago here in the Detroit area. And so for those who are not familiar with us, we manufacture an all-electric Class 4 truck called the Bollinger B4. And coming on the heels of that, we will be bringing to market a Class 5 truck called the B5. So we are going to tell a little bit of our story today. So we are located here at Oak Park, Michigan, about 3 miles north of Motor City. And we have a growing team of about 150 experts who design, engineer, and build all-electric medium-duty commercial trucks in the greater Detroit area. And there are a lot of reasons why medium-duty trucks are ideal for electrification. 75% of these vehicles travel less than 80 miles in their daily cycle. So range for many of them are not a concern, and especially when you look at a truck like ours that has 185-mile range on a charge. It makes a lot of sense. There's not really going to be a huge concern about most of our customers running out of range for their daily cycles. Vehicles in this segment also typically return to their Home Depot after 6 to 8 hour duty cycles and have plenty of time for recharging. And while they do work well on DC fast charges, most of our customers use a level 2 charger, and for that, there's a lot of benefits, and there are minimal upgrades needed to allow them to be able to take on that sort of charging. So it's really advantageous platform for a lot of our customers. So Work Truck Solutions asked us to speak today on the theme of reciprocity and determination. And we've got a lot of really smart people here at Bollinger, like I talked about, a lot of really smart engineers, and certainly people a lot smarter than me. And I'll be honest with you, when we heard the word reciprocity, we kind of had to go back and look it up in dictionary.com to make sure that we were approaching it from the right angle. And it's a word you hear now and then, but it's not an everyday word. But as we looked at Webster's definition, which is the practice of exchanging things with others for mutual benefit, it came back to an essential theme, which is also the idea of partnerships. And that, for us, makes a lot of sense. No one can launch an electric vehicle or a vehicle in itself without really strong partnerships. And for us here at Bollinger, that has been and always will be an essential component to our success. Employees, suppliers, dealers, and government officials all have played a role in getting Bollinger Motors to the production phase, and every one of those represents a key partnership for us. Partnerships are not only necessary for the OEM, but also for the customer in order to realize the benefits of electrification. But we'll talk a little bit later on that. As for determination, it's a cornerstone of any startup, no matter the industry. And so what you see up on the screen is a meme that is pretty prevalent on the internet, but it really kind of lays out what it is. Most people, when they think about a startup or success, they look at this nice, easy, linear line. But the reality, and especially for startups, is it's the path to success looks more like a bowl of spaghetti than it does a nice, easy, straight line. There are a lot of roadblocks, bumps in the road, crazy twists and turns for any for any person or company on their journey to success. And for a startup, this probably multiplies by a factor of 5. If launching a new OEM was easy, anyone would do it. But the truth is, the road to automotive EV startups success is littered with a lot of failures. So it's a very challenging entry point. The only way to succeed in this space is through grit and determination. It's a long journey from idea to success, and it takes determination to get over those bumps in the road. So as we look at our story from the perspective of both determination and grit, we'll go back and look at the very beginnings of Bollinger and how determination really kind of drove where we are today. As we talked about, we're a commercial EV truck manufacturer, but we didn't always start out in that space. To fully understand the Bollinger Motors story, I need to take you back to the very beginning, to Robert Bollinger, our founder, and a small team working on an electric SUV and an electric pickup truck in a barn in upstate New York. I mean, think of all the places that you would go to start up a venture like this, and I'm pretty sure a barn in the foothills of upstate New York is not the first place that would come to mind. But Robert is a creative powerhouse. He had a successful career in advertising. He pivoted into an entrepreneurial venture in the skincare industry. And after selling that business, he did really well. And well enough, in fact, that he decided to take a step back and buy this farm in upstate New York to try a different venture. But in 2014, while working on that farm, it occurred to Robert that there wasn't really a good electric vehicle option for high-end work trucks to use on his farm. So he did what any good entrepreneur will do. He decided to make one himself, pulled together a small team that worked out of his barn, kind of like a little group of crazy engineering pirates. And they designed an SUV, which they dubbed the B1. And soon after that, a pickup truck dubbed the B2. And they were rugged vehicles. They were meant to go off-road and get a little dirty. They were fun to drive and cool as hell to look at. Frankly, they were badass trucks. And if you've seen us at any shows, you'll see that badass name all over the place. But this is where it all started. And, you know, most people up until recently, this is what they've known us for, is the B1 and B2, because they're very distinct, very capable products. And they attract a lot of attention. And Robert knew that he was onto something great. But he also realized that a farm in upstate New York was going to be a difficult place to mass produce a vehicle like this, or any vehicle. Robert knew that he needed more automotive design and engineering talent than was available to him easily in upstate New York. So to survive and thrive, he needed access to really smart truck people and an experienced supplier base to help him scale his operation. So this is an early example, really, of Robert's and the company's determination. So they packed up and moved to Ferndale, Michigan, which is right on the outskirts of Detroit, and just a mile or two from our current headquarters. And why Detroit? Well, it's really not that hard to come by. It's the heart of car and truck company. It's the Motor City, and it has literally thousands of talented and experienced people working in the automotive industry, as well as a fertile entrepreneurial culture. And Robert was determined to build an all-star team of experienced truck people. Moving to Detroit also spawned our first, and maybe our most important partnership in the development of both the business and our products, and that is our people. Robert built a team of engineers with deep trucking roots, and his goal was to bring in truck people to make world-class trucks for other truck people. Moving to Detroit was a huge early win for Robert and the company, and there's no better trucking talent pool in the world. Of course, it was a win-win for the new team members too, because these passionate truck people had a clean sheet of paper to build a company, a culture, and a vehicle from the ground up. And for many of us, myself included, this was an incredible opportunity and a career adventure of a lifetime. I mean, who wouldn't want to work at a startup making badass trucks like the B1 and B2? Working for a startup can be a total adrenaline rush, and our team thrives on the daily challenge to make something new and great. But it takes more than a great internal team to launch a vehicle. A second reason for the relocation to Detroit was the experienced and respected supplier base. A great supply chain is critical to long-term OEMs, and anybody in the audience today that has experienced that knows exactly what we're talking about. And so it's critical to the long-term success of any OEM. And there's no place like the Detroit area to find and grow these partnerships. It's a lot easier having your suppliers down the street than it is to have them 3 or more states away. And while it's possible to take advantage of technology to share CAD drawings and do calls by Zoom like we're doing here today, and has certainly realized the benefits of that since the pandemic, but still nothing beats face-to-face interactions, especially when it comes time to brainstorming new ideas or problem-solving challenges that really require, arm-to-arm collaboration. So our suppliers include some of the biggest and most respected names in the industry, some with long histories of success, and some that are just our newer players in the electric vehicle industry. Take, for example, Dana, our axle supplier, and Goodyear, our tire supplier. They both have more than 100 years of experience in the automotive industry. And for our batteries, we turn to a leading startup, Our Next Energy, who is new to the space, but bringing innovative products that really have helped drive our development. We also partner with a lot of smaller companies too, that bring their own specialization and expertise to our business and to the B4 in particular. And a common thread for all of these companies and for many of our other suppliers is a commitment to sustainable transportation options. We all believe in making the world a better place and really try to fit into Robert's original vision for this truck. Excuse me. Okay, so there we were in Detroit with a great team assembled, 2 badass prototypes, the B1 and the B2. The vehicles were really cool. They were fun to drive and would work well on a farm, at a country club, or even in the city. So there was only one problem. The high-end electric SUV market was extremely competitive, and there was a global pandemic affecting markets and businesses everywhere. So Robert and the executive team quickly realized that they were unlikely to make it to profitability in the short term. They also learned that the competitive set in commercial EVs was almost non-existent at the time, and there was growing momentum from states to accelerate commercial EV adoption. So again, this is where the company's determination kicked in, going back to the original theme of today. The executive team realized the fastest way to business success was to pivot from consumer vehicles to commercial vehicles. And in 2022, we announced the shift from the B1 and the B2 to the Class 4 B4 truck that we are bringing to market today, and shifted 100% of our focus into the commercial truck market. So we were often asked by people, are you disappointed that you're not still making the B1 and 2? And I'll admit, I love the B1 and B2. They're awesome trucks. They're hugely capable. They're designed really well, and people love them. And from a marketing perspective, they're a marketer's dream. But commercial vehicles are badass trucks too. And the more time I've spent with the B4, the more I've come to really love that truck as well. And then we also get asked quite often, are you going to bring back the B1 and the B2? And the answer for that is hopefully someday we will. But right now our focus is squarely on building the best commercial EV trucks that we can. And speaking of building world-class vehicles, our decision to work with Roush Industries in Livonia was one of the most important we've made in our company's history. It's also another example of why partnership is so expensive or so important to our long-term success. Building a vehicle is an intricate and expensive proposition, and it takes a dedicated professional team with expertise and a facility with the right equipment and processes to put a vehicle together and get it out the door safely. Building your own team in your own facility completely from scratch is an expensive undertaking, and it's a huge risk as well. And so at this stage in our development, contract manufacturing made a lot more sense. Roush has more than a 40-year history of vehicle development and contract manufacturing services. They're a well-known company and have a reputation for excellence. Adding them to the team helped contain our costs, raise our manufacturing expertise, and get to market significantly faster than we could have had we tried to do it all on our own. But it's not just as simple as turning Roush loose. Our teams did all the development engineering work on this vehicle, and this vehicle is still our truck. The solution for us was to embed our people at Roush, working arm in arm with their team to make sure that all the production facilities and the production processes were set up and optimized correctly. And to that point, we have office space at Roush, and we have 20 or so people that are stationed there every day. Again, still working collaboratively with the Roush team to make sure that everything is operating the way it should. And this is another example of why it is so important that Robert relocated the business to Michigan from New York. We never would have been able to realize some of the benefits of having our production facilities just a short 20 to 30-minute drive down the road from us. The ability to get quickly to and from to either brainstorm or troubleshoot has been immeasurable to the trajectory of our product. And as we keep looking at the different types of reciprocal relationships that we have and the reciprocity that we've built into our own business, another key one is how we get our trucks to market. And that is, in our case, we've built a distribution and a growing distribution network of over 30 locations, coast to coast. Pardon me. A lot of startup companies have tried to go the direct-to-consumer route. And often the rationale behind that is that the dealer system is antiquated and that it's, that an efficient online ordering system is a better way to move more metal. I think our experience here and our approach would run a little counter to that. Setting up a nationwide dealer network is simply a better way for us to take care of our customers. It provides an avenue to distribute our products, and most important, it gives our customers someone to call when they need additional help or to ask questions about the product. And developing an experienced team who knows their local trucking markets and provides a human face to solve problems is a huge advantage for us. And so our dealer network and their expertise and their partnership is hugely important to the success of what we're doing. But again, it's a big challenge to build that network and get the right people partnered on board. And determination, both on our part and on the part of our dealer partners, has made that a reality. We have a team that scours the country from coast to coast looking for the best, brightest, and most experienced and well-respected dealers in this space. And we've found organizations that have been around for 60 or 70 years or more. So these are not people that are, fly-by-night organizations or new to the industry. These are people that really know what they're doing. And to leverage that talent pool to distribute product, they already know how to do all that. Why would we put ourselves into a position where we're trying to go to market with a new product and not take advantage of that sort of expertise? So, whether we're talking about Nacarado, Tech, or LaFontaine, we've brought in the organizations that are really already set up to help us succeed at a more rapid pace than trying to build everything from scratch or try to do a pure direct-to-customer model. Of course, like all of our partnerships, our dealers also should benefit from this. And so we're expanding their product offerings and helping some of them get into the electrification space. So there's also additional revenue opportunities to help grow their business. And like every good partnership or relationship, this should be a win for both parties. And we believe that we're setting that up for both us and our dealers. A final but important element of the partnerships has been the involvement of the government at the federal and state and local levels. And moving vehicles from ICE to electric, it's a big challenge, and it's not going to happen overnight. And it wouldn't have happened without some help from the government, from some government partnerships. So whether we're looking at the IRS incentives with up to $40,000 per vehicle, or we're looking at some of the states like California that offers incentives up to $60,000, or New York that has their TVIT program that offers up to almost $100,000. There are lots of ways that the government is helping accelerate this industry, and so those partnerships mean the world to us and frankly to all the other commercial EV companies out there. And as we wrap up, what's next for the electric commercial truck market? And that answer is probably different for every one of you out there. But there is a path for everyone. And some will be early adopters who want to get ahead of the technology curve. Some will be in it to fulfill their EV mandates and take advantage of government incentives. And everyone will be tuned in closely to the short and long-term financial benefits of switching to an EV fleet. There are definitely more challenges ahead. And initial acquisition costs are still probably a little bit higher than most of our ICE competition. We acknowledge that. But it's our job to help identify the incentives on the federal, state, and local levels to help customers get the best value possible. And it's also on us to educate customers and work with our dealer partners on the overall total cost of not only acquisition, but also of operation and ownership, where we think there are some real values to moving into the electric space. And then the final part is the infrastructure, which we know can be a big challenge for a lot of customers. So continuing to work closely with the industry and government to find solutions for that is another key piece where we all can work together to help move this category forward. I mean, to that point, we're meeting almost daily with partners who come with all sorts of different solutions to help customers in different spaces find the right infrastructure solutions for them. So this is an area that is continuing to develop and grow, and it's really quite exciting to be a part of. So for Bollinger Motors, as we wrap this up, we know we will continue to face unique and often unexpected challenges, but that's part of the life of being a startup, and it's also part of being in this continually developing automotive industry. But the culture that we've created, building badass trucks, a determined team, and strong network of partners will help us tackle any obstacles that come our way. And we're really confident. As we get into the winter and we get into the winter sports, sometimes I like to think about the movie Miracle, where Kurt Russell plays Herb Brooks from the 1980 Olympic team. And in that movie, he tells his team, great moments were born from great opportunities. And that's what you have here tonight. Well, that's what we feel like we have with not only our product, but also, frankly, coming into this industry. There's a great opportunity to make a great difference in the world. And doing anything of this magnitude takes guts and determination. And doing it rapidly takes strong partnerships. And that all brings it back to the reciprocity theme of the event that you guys are at. We feel that we're positioned well through both of those, both the determination and reciprocity, to continue to grow and succeed in space. And we look forward to working with our partners and customers to make that a reality for them as well. So these are exciting times in the commercial trucking market, and we are loving the opportunity to provide our customers with sustainable transportation options. And we can't wait to see what comes next for both us and for this industry. So thank you all for your time this afternoon. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about the Bollinger story, and we hope you have an enjoyable and successful rest of the Fall Summit.